Newly leaked footage has just shaken everything up. Foolio's crew and Yungeen and Ace were caught clashing inside the courtroom. This wasn't just a heated exchange, it looked like Foolio's boys are on a mission. And it's not just Ace they're after. They're coming for his entire team.
He's dropping like we might need the double back. Yungeen, Ace,
his boys.
Yeah, been dropping like 6.
Things just hit a boiling point and we've got the full breakdown right here, so let's get into it. When street beef spills into a courtroom, this ain't some Netflix drama or rap music video. This is real life, and it's going down. Right in front of the judge, officers, and the district attorney. Foolio's crew didn't hold back. They tried to rush Yungeen Ace in broad daylight, with cameras rolling. What was supposed to be a place of justice turned into pure chaos. One of Foolio's known affiliates, tied closely to the 1200 gang out of Jacksonville, completely lost it when he locked eyes with Ace and his squad. And then, all hell broke loose. The courtroom erupted into a wild scene, and now that footage is everywhere, blowing up across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. People are scrambling to understand what really triggered it and what it means going forward. But let me tell you, if you think this was just a courtroom brawl, you're missing the bigger picture. This isn't just a fight, it's the latest explosion in a street war that's been raging for nearly a decade. Bodies have dropped, betrayals have piled up, and now, bars are being replaced with real prison bars. What we're seeing now is the endgame. It's Foolio versus Ace. It's Jacksonville versus the justice system. And it's got the entire rap world watching in shock. So let's rewind, because what's happening next could change everything.
Well, yeah, Foolio just got killed on his 26th birthday in Tampa, which is a couple hours from his home city.
Foolio was gunned down on his 26th birthday. He threw a big party, promoted it all over Instagram like everything was sweet, never realizing the wolves were already circling. And they weren't just watching, they were locked in, silent and patient, the suspects. 4 men and a pregnant woman, trailing him all over Tampa from club to club, moving in the shadows, just waiting for the green light. They tracked him in real time through his phone, his car, every step he took. That's not paranoia, that's how ops move in 2024. Now, 5 of them are behind bars facing first-degree murder charges. 1 suspect is still on the run. But the others, the state of Florida isn't playing. Prosecutors are pushing for the death penalty for 3 of them. Think about that, a pregnant woman, out here plotting someone's death while carrying a life inside her. And when the plan unraveled, she was the first to start talking. What really got people talking, though, was the timing. While this murder plot was unfolding, Yungeen Ace was literally sitting down with DJ Academics, laughing, sipping down Foolio, cracking jokes like nothing was going on. And then came the twist.
The exact moment. Everybody who got locked up for the murder, the 3 simultaneous arrests, happened exactly when he's talking to me.
At the exact same moment, Yungeen Ace was laughing it up and clowning Cam on DJ Academics' show. The feds were kicking in the doors of the suspected shooters. Talk about a plot twist. And let's be clear, this wasn't some random act of violence. This was a targeted mission. One of the suspects even sent a chilling text after the hit. *, my thirst is finally quenched after Foolio got hit. That's not just cold, it's incriminating. This was retaliation. Plain and simple. Payback for a past murder. And everyone in the streets knew it. The beef between Foolio and Ace wasn't just rap disses and Instagram live threats, it was soaked in real blood. We're talking about grave desecrations, tracks mocking dead homies, and non-stop disrespect. There's even actual footage of one of Foolio's boys urinating on the grave of someone Ace was close to, and yes, it's real. So when the news broke that Foolio had been killed, Ace didn't flinch, he didn't hold back, he celebrated. Because in this war, losses aren't just expected, they're counted like trophies.
Right after Foolio got killed, Yungeen Ace are dropping diss songs.
He went hard, man.
And from Jake's point of view, he thinks that Ace has nothing to do with it, which is why he's doing it.
Yungeen Ace didn't waste any time. Just days after Foolio's murder, he dropped not 1, but 2 diss tracks, aimed directly at Foolio. He was grinning, ear to ear, flexing with bottles of Don Julio, like he was celebrating his own birthday, not Foolio's death. And the internet, they ate it up. But while social media was going crazy over the disrespect, the feds weren't laughing, they were working. Co. While rappers were dissing on beat, detectives were quietly building a RICO case. According to DJ Academics, the evidence is so airtight, even the suspects' own lawyers are allegedly telling them, *, just pick a prison. And here's the jaw-dropper, the youngest alleged shooter, just 18 years old. This kid was playing Fortnite 6 years ago. Now he's staring down the possibility of death row. That's how fast chasing clout can turn into chasing a coffin. Then there's Alicia, the pregnant girl caught up in the mess. She thought she could finesse her way out of this by cooperating early. Multiple reports say she requested a speedy trial, a classic sign she's ready to make a deal. Sources claim she's trying to save her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance, by throwing the others under the bus. But Florida prosecutors aren't having it. They told her, Asterisk, you played a part in this. Hit you're going down to asterisk. This isn't a movie. This isn't some tragic love story. This is capital murder. And now, with the stakes sky high, emotions finally boiled over. One of Foolio's close affiliates tried to throw hands with Yungeen Ace inside the courtroom. Why? Because with all the pressure, all the ruined lives, and death row on the table, somebody was bound to snap. That fight, it was payback, was fury. It was the streets colliding with the justice system. And through it all, Yungeen Ace, still unbutt.
He's like, it's 6 to 8 of us that's in ATK. He's like, anyone else are affiliates, but they're not ATK.
Yungeen Ace claims that TK isn't even a real gang, just a tight crew, 6 deep. The rest just hangers on. And if that's true, it could mean if a RICO case comes down, Ace might actually dodge it. But let's be real, things have gotten way too loud. We're talking courtroom brawls, death penalty filings, and a viral beef that ended with a rapper dead. This isn't ending with a couple convictions and a few headlines. This case is about to set the tone, just like FBG Ducks in Chicago, just like YSLs in Atlanta. The feds are locked in, and Florida's gearing up to make an example out of all of them. This was the hit that shook the culture. And to really understand why that Jacksonville courtroom turned into something straight out of a World Starfight video, you've got to rewind to the early morning of June 23, 2024. That's when Charles Andrew Jones, better known in the streets as Julio Foolio, was ambushed and gunned down in a hotel parking lot in Tampa. He was just trying to celebrate his 26th birthday, which should have been a night full of bottles, and celebration turned into a calculated execution. A cold, surgical hit that exposed how deep and ruthless modern-day gang warfare runs. These young hitters weren't just pulling triggers, they were playing chess, tracking his every move, laying in wait like predators. The chain of events reads like a tragic hood film full of missed warnings and fatal choices. On June 22nd, Foolio threw a birthday party at an Airbnb, but it got shut down by police because too many people showed up. That forced Foolio to make a last-minute switch, moving the party to a home-to-suites hotel near the University of South Florida. What he didn't know, what he couldn't have known, was that his ops were already on him. They were watching everything, following every step, waiting patiently for that one moment where he'd let his guard down. And when he did, they slid.
Like, that's not going to happen. Someone's going to tell them, hey, he's so-and-so, hop in your car, go get him. And that's what happens almost every time.
In the early morning hours of June 23rd, around 4:40 a.m., Julio Foolio was caught slipping in the parking lot of the home-to-suites hotel. That's when 3 masked shooters crept up on his black Dodge Charger and unleashed a hail of bullets, rifles and handguns blazing, sending Foolio to his grave and leaving 3 others wounded. The scene, captured in chilling detail by surveillance cameras, would later become the prosecution's secret weapon. This wasn't some reckless emotional hit. This was a coordinated military-style execution, carried out with cold precision, designed to eliminate a target and send a message to anyone even thinking about testing the streets. As investigators dug deeper in the weeks that followed, the scale and strategy behind the hit became terrifyingly clear. It was so meticulous, so calculated, that even seasoned gang vets and hardened cops were left stunned. Surveillance footage from multiple angles, including hotel security cameras, nearby businesses, and even a Tesla provided a playby of the ambush. The Tesla's high-definition footage was especially damning, giving authorities crystal clear visuals of the suspects and their vehicles. There was no escaping the digital footprint. These shooters had left a trail they couldn't erase. That video from the hotel shows the 3 masked gunmen creeping up on Foolio's Charger between 4:37 and 4:38 a.m. One of them let off shots from point-blank range with an automatic weapon, while the others used rifles equipped with mesh shell catchers, a small but serious detail that proved just how calculated this hit really was. As Foolio tried to speed away, his car hit a curb, and more shots rang out, turning his final moments into a tragic and desperate fight for survival. But this surveillance didn't just capture the moment. Foolio got ambushed. It revealed an entire night of predatory stalking. Earlier footage from teasers, where Foolio was partying, shows a Chevrolet Cruze driven by Alicia Andrews and Isaiah Chance Jr. pulling up around 2:23 a.m. Chance is seen on his phone, ALLEGEDLY, coordinating with Sean Gathite, who arrived separately in a Chevrolet Impala with Rashad and Davian Murphy. These cars were later spotted following Foolio across multiple locations. From teasers to Truth 18 and afterparty, he hit up later that night. Their movements proved this wasn't some last-minute decision. It was a strategic, hours-long manhunt. Killers had essentially turned Foolio's birthday celebration into a personal hunting mission, weaponizing his social media posts and public party flyers against him. The level of surveillance and timing showed a chilling level of professionalism. This was more than beef. This was an orchestrated body drop with ruthless intent. The investigation would eventually uncover the web of connections tying the killing directly to long-standing street beefs in Jacksonville. Tampa PD, working closely with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, identified 5 suspects: Sean Gathite, Alicia Andrews, Isaiah Chance Jr., Rashad Murphy, and Davian Murphy. All 5 were charged with first-degree premeditated murder and conspiracy to commit murder, charges that carry the death penalty in Florida. As the case unfolded, so did each suspect's role. Alicia Andrews, the only woman in the crew and pregnant at the time, was reportedly instrumental in tracking Foolio's location, possibly by luring him in with a fake romantic setup. That revelation added a grimy twist to the case, showing how deep and dirty these street games go, using personal relationships to bait a man into a deadly trap. That's snake-level betrayal, and it underscored just how treacherous modern-day street politics have become.
They drove 3 hours, 2 separate cars.
And they all got caught.
The level of sophistication in the evidence collection for this case highlights not only the high-profile nature of the crime, but also how far modern investigative techniques have come in the digital age. The crystal-clear footage from that Tesla and the hotel surveillance cameras gave law enforcement a front-row seat to the entire operation. Investigators were able to identify the suspects' vehicles and track their every move. License plate readers, GPS data, and cell phone records tightened the net even further, linking the suspects directly to the scene and building a near-inescapable web of digital proof. It was this tech-powered trail that became a cornerstone in the prosecution's case, making it nearly impossible for the accused to slip through the cracks.
You got the Teslas that are acting like sentries with 360 camera.
Yeah.
It's the clearest camera ever, 4K.
Perhaps the most damning evidence in this case came from the digital trail, a detailed look into the suspect's mindset and motivation. Phone records revealed that Isaiah Chance was in active communication with Sean Gathite during the critical moments of the tracking phase, and when combined with surveillance footage, it established a clear-cut conspiracy among the crew. But the real smoking gun? A chilling text message allegedly sent by Rashad Murphy. *, I'm coming home. My thirst is finally quenched. That single line spoke volumes. It wasn't just a shooting, it was revenge. Cold and calculated. This wasn't some random street hit. It was a long-awaited score-settling mission finally carried out. As investigators dug deeper, the connections to broader gang warfare became undeniable. Court documents revealed that the suspects were affiliated with ATK and 1200 gangs known to be sworn enemies of Foolio's 6-block set. This wasn't just about personal beef, it was part of an ongoing systemic war between rival Jacksonville crews. A war that's been claiming young lives and flooding the streets with blood for years. The evidence showed this was an organized act of retaliation, deeply rooted in a cycle of violence that law enforcement is now determined to break.
May even get the death penalty.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know what people be thinking, but if that case doesn't tell you that it's almost impossible. If there's a popular series called How to Get Away with Murder, then you can't. Not no more.
The prosecution's case grew even stronger with the recovery of physical evidence directly linking the suspects to the crime scene. DNA found on one of the murder weapons, bullets traced back to firearms stashed in their homes, and ballistic tests that matched shell casings to the guns used in the shooting. It was as if the suspects had built their own self-incriminating trophy room, keeping the very items that would later seal their fate. Despite the calculated nature of the hit, they made rookie mistakes that ultimately got them caught. As arrests were made and evidence piled up, the full scale of this conspiracy became crystal clear. This wasn't just another hood homicide, it was the result of years of plotting, hatred, and organized street warfare executed with chilling precision in the age of social media. This case became a stark reminder of how technology, while giving gangs new tools to move in silence, also leaves behind digital footprints, text messages, GPS trails, surveillance footage that law enforcement now uses to build airtight, bulletproof cases. And as the courtroom drama exploded with viral footage of Foolio's affiliate swinging on Yungeen, it became obvious. The beef between ATK and KTA isn't just rap drama, it's an all-out war that's been ripping Jacksonville apart for nearly a decade. This isn't just a TK versus KTA, this is a deadly war, one that's claimed dozens of lives, traumatized neighborhoods, and turned entire blocks into no-go zones. Mothers are scared to let their children walk to the store, and even courthouse walls haven't been able to contain the rage. That fight inside the courtroom, just the latest in a bloody saga that stretches far beyond Foolio's death, will likely continue long after these trials wrap up. The conflict between Foolio's 6-block aligned with KTA and Yungeen's ATK has been one of the most dangerous and high-profile gang rivalries in modern hip-hop history. But this isn't an industry beef for clicks and album sales, this is real bloodshed. Born from a tragic history that started back in May 2017 with the murder of Zion Brown, Foolio's 19-year-old cousin, in a drive-by shooting, DeAndre Jack Thomas connected to Ace's crew was arrested in connection to the killing, and that event is widely seen as the match that lit the fuse. The violence escalated in June 2018, when Yungeen Ace and 3 others were ambushed after leaving a restaurant. Ace's brother Trayvon Bullard, Royale Devon Smith Jr., and another teen were killed in the drive-by. Ace survived after taking 8 bullets. That shooting, believed to be retaliation for Zion Brown's murder, kicked the feud into high gear. Foolio fueled the flames with provocative music and social media antics mocking Ace's slain brother, wearing t-shirts with images of the dead, and even claiming in songs like Voodoo that he cursed Ace and his crew. ATK responded with diss tracks of their own, escalating things further. By 2019, the war was fully active. That year, Adrian Gaynor Jr., aka by Foolio's younger brother, was murdered. ATK rapper Hakeem Robinson, aka Sue, was charged in the killing. His album Buyout featured fallen KTA members on the cover, showing just how deep and disrespectful this war had become. The violence didn't stop at gang members. Innocent people were caught in the crossfire. In January 2019, Damon Rothermall was killed by a stray bullet during a gang shootout. ATK's alleged leader, Abdul Robinson Sr., was charged as an accessory for helping a suspect flee, proving the reach of this war extended beyond the young shooters. By 2020, Jacksonville authorities were calling it one of the deadliest gang wars in the city's history. In January 2020, KTA rapper Charles Quinton McCormick Jr., aka Lil Buck, was gunned down, reportedly in retaliation for his brother's death. His own lyrics and social media posts were used against him in court. National attention came in 2021 when Ace Benabans, Fast Money, Goon, and Wapo Wit Choppa dropped Who I Smoked, a viral diss track sampling Vanessa Carlton, 1,000 Miles, disrespecting deceased KTA members like BBY Techie and Lil 9. It racked up over 18 million views, shocking even those outside hip-hop. Foolio hit back with When I See You remix, where he danced in a graveyard with photos of ATK members, pushing the feud to new levels of disrespect. Sheriff Mike Williams describes social media as the modern version of gang graffiti. Law enforcement launched Operation Wrap Up in 2019 to target gangs using social platforms to glorify violence, leading to numerous arrests. But even as cops cracked down, the violence kept spiraling. By 2023, things hit another low. About 7 months before Foolio's death, he and members of 6 Block and Bully Gang filmed a music video in a cemetery, posing in front of Royale Smith Jr.'s Gravis's brother. That move crossed a line even the streets saw as unforgivable. Not long after, 6 Block member BGIZY was killed in retaliation. ATK rapper Antonio Tilly Jr. responded with a song mocking the murder. Then in October 2023, Tilly and an innocent Uber driver, Bryant Grund, were killed in a shooting tied to the ongoing feud. 2 suspects were later arrested. The retaliation kept cycling. And then came June 23, 2024, when Julio Foolio was finally caught slipping and gunned down in a Tampa hotel parking lot. Police quickly linked the shooters to a TK in 1200, tying the murder back to the war that's been claiming lives since 2017. And in one final act of disrespect, Yungeen Ace dropped a new track titled Do It, just hours after Foolio's death, filled with lyrics and visuals that seemed to celebrate the hit, making it clear this beef is far from over.
If I'm beefing with somebody and they died, I don't got to do with it. I'm non-stop talking about it if I'm disrespectful like that.
But Foolio's death didn't mark the end of the violence. In fact, it pushed things to even more tragic extremes. On January 24, 2025, a heartbreaking turn of events shocked the city. 7-year-old Byron Allen Jr. was killed in a targeted shooting aimed at his 21-year-old cousin, an ATK-affiliated rapper, on Jacksonville's west side. The attack, believed to be retaliation from 6 Block members, was reportedly triggered by a diss track titled 6 Ways to Die, a song that mocked deceased 6 Block affiliates, including Foolio himself. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office confirmed the shooting was part of the ongoing A-tier war between ATK and KTA, but this time, the loss of an innocent child, someone completely detached from the street politics, sent shockwaves through the community. It was a grim reminder of the collateral damage that these senseless beefs leave behind. For some, the tragedy became a wake-up call. On December 23, 2024, Yungeen Ace made a shocking announcement during an emotional live stream. He was officially dissolving a TK*. His reasons were raw frustration over betrayal within his own crew, anger at their failure to support funeral expenses, and abandonment during his legal struggles. Ace's decision came as law enforcement pressure intensified, with Sheriff TK Waters confirming that ATK members were under constant surveillance. The long-term impact of this feud has been devastating for Jacksonville. The never-ending cycle of retaliation has fueled the city's high violent crime rates and drawn unwanted national attention to its drill rap scene. Even back in 2021, former Sheriff Mike Williams warned of ATK's violent footprint, suggesting the crew was potentially linked to at least 15 murders. What started as rap rivalries has become a deep-rooted street war that's taken innocent lives and left the city scarred.